Hello, my name is Jake Schnapp, and I would like to talk to you about how we become a wasteful society and that we should become a more efficient society. While I'm sure most of us are guilty of one point in our lives being a wasteful person, whether we allow food to sit in the refrigerator for too long or we let the water run while we're doing dishes in the sink. You'd be surprised on how quickly these ways will actually add up, as to about 14% of all the food that you buy you actually waste, even if it's not past the expiration date. Nowadays, it's really no longer the case of fixing things when they're broken either. It's really more convenient and what we believe to be more efficient if we just throw away the old and buy the new. Now, you'd be surprised on how quickly a habit like that actually adds up, as in 2010, Americans generated about 250 million tons of trash, and we actually were only able to recycle about 85 million tons, which is a measly 34% of the overall rate. And right here is a small pie chart of all the materials that made up that 250 million tons of trash, and how the majority of that should have been recycled, as its papers, plastics, and metal cans. To break that number down, it actually equates to about 4.5 pounds per person per day being produced, and only about 1.5 of that 4.5 pounds actually being recycled. Now, a few days to up the recycle amount, of course, is to recycle any materials that are actually able to, such as newspapers, plastic bottles, and cans. But a new way to be efficient is actually composting, which I've seen a lot of people trying out nowadays. And that's where you take old fruit, yard trimmings, and put them under conditions to naturally break down, and actually they turn into a very efficient fertilizer if you're into gardening. Now, this also leads into landfills. Now, of course, these are what most of our landfills look like nowadays, and that's because of the lack of recycling and the lack of being an ineffective society. And really, it all comes down to, if you are a wasteful society, you're a self-destructive society, and you either correct it soon or you'll suffer in the future for it. And I hope that you found that being wasteful was wrong, and at some point you really will be sitting in your own waste if you don't do something now. And I hope you enjoy the presentation. Thank you for your time.